us naturally. We have some talents, we have some gifts, we have some capacities. The idea is cultivate what comes natural, what you're passionate about. And then you'll discover that as you cultivate those talents that are what we say God-given, you'll be able to cultivate others because you now have the confidence that you can do anything.
You know, it's funny. I had the opportunity to be part of the 1 Minute Manager book series. I didn't take it because I didn't take stock in myself, my talents, and my ability. And as I developed those over the next 20 years, I was fortunate enough to get presented another opportunity, and I knew my talents, I knew my abilities, and I was able to contribute to that project to such an extent that I, my co-authors, and that book became one of the best-selling books of all time.
Knowing what our talent is important. Finding our talent is what are you great at? What do you love doing? What comes easy? What's effortless? And just to clarify what effortless means, it's not sitting on a couch and not doing anything. What effortless really means is taking action just without that mental distraction.
Don't look for your talent. Do what you do with all your heart, and your talent finds you.
Okay, you combined your passion with your talent. Excellent, good for you, and you're halfway there. Now the second part of the success equation is A squared. The first A stands for one simple word, and you've heard it throughout every vault we've opened. And that word is action.
When you want to create something new in your life, know there are specific actions for success.
I believe in the law of attraction. What you throw out comes back. But the law of attraction doesn't work unless you take action every day.
I believe everyone has a resource called passion that they can tap into. Then you enlist your talent. But after you've done that, you got to take action. You cannot fall asleep at the switch in this life.
You want to achieve something, being a pilot, being a world-class swimmer, being an officer, or being a politician, just do it. Take action.
If you're not where you want to be in your life today, take action in the direction of your dreams.
You have to start somewhere. Don't just sit and wait for something to happen. It's already happened. It's waiting for you to take the step.
You can't sit around and wait for things to happen. You gotta be proactive. Go make them happen.
The universe will line up with whatever you want to do once you get off the couch and move forward.
Just take one step. When you take a step, the next step will reveal itself.
Take some kind of action. Even if that action is symbolic, do something that lets the universe know that you're serious about manifesting and turning this inspiration into right action.
Ralph Waldo Emerson says, every act is its own reward. You take the action, what I'm saying is you get paid down line. When I started my speaking business, I knocked on 10 doors and one said yes. Then I got good and I got 2 out of 10, then 3 out of 10. Pretty soon you get 10 out of 10, and the danger is you stop taking the action. You don't knock on any more doors because you say, I'm so cool, I don't need to do it. You got to keep taking the action to keep getting the result.
But by and large, I don't know anybody for whom this level of success came without unbelievable effort.
Here's the bottom line. If you want something, you want to be a success, you got to be willing to pay the price. Pay the price of discipline or pay the price of regret.
In other words, most of us know a lot more than what we live. You already know everything you need to know to be successful. You just got to put the remote control down, scoot the bag of chips away, get off the couch, and do something.
Now that you've taken action, what's the final A in the success equation? Well, that's association. You see, just like our Beanie Baby fan, they found their passion and their talent. They took action with the right association, eBay. Because remember this, you are a direct reflection of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most, and your income will be the average of those 5 people.
Successful people learn the power of association.
If you'll associate with people who are even more successful than yourself, it will enhance everything you do.
I think the right connections are very important, but those of us who came up without the right connections can take a lot of hope from the fact that we create our own connections. So you can go meet anybody you want to meet, and the most successful people I find to be the most available.
You're known by the friends you keep. What kind of people do you associate with?
What kind of thoughts do you put into your mind? If you hang around the people who are always filled with anxiety and frustration, that's what you'll experience. If you hang around winners, people who are happy and enthusiastic, happiness and enthusiasm are contagious. You'll catch them, and you will show that in the way you conduct yourself in life.
Who are you hanging around with? You want to hang around people you have respect for, not people you have influence over.
I can tell an individual where they're going by who they're hanging out with. Whenever you choose a friend, you're basically biting a chunk of your own destiny. So the idea is, if you begin to know where you're going, look around and begin to associate with people who are walking in that direction.
Most important that you do surround yourself with the best, because that way you get the best people and the best result.
I'd rather be a member of an all-star team than be a solo star.
If you're doing something by yourself, you ain't doing nothing, honey. You have to have a team.
But it's not a me thing, it's a we thing. Pass it on and share it with everybody.
One last word on association. What's the use of having all these great people together if you don't put it to work? We suggest a mastermind group. What's that? Well, that's when you get 5 like-minded people together and you compare thoughts, ideas, strengths, and goals. You know what they call it when you get 5 people together that think negative thoughts? We call that a landmine group.
You are the same today you'll be in 5 years, except for 2 things: the people you meet and the books you read. Hang around thinkers, you'll be a better thinker. Hang around workers, you'll be a better worker. Hang around givers, you'll be a better giver. Hang around a bunch of thumb-sucking, complaining, griping boneheads, and you will be a better thumb-sucking, complaining, griping bonehead.
In other words, your income in the next 5 years will be the average of your 5 closest friends. Do this. Grab a pen and a paper. Write down your 5 closest friends. Write down what you think they make. Total it up and average it out. You may find, like I did, I needed some new friends.
If we're in a situation where we've just learned something, we've been to a class, we've just accelerated, we've just brought something new into our life, we take it back to the people that we're with. What can happen is they may try to pull you back. You may take new action, have new strategies, they may try to pull you back. Not because they don't love you, because they don't want to lose you.
Find the 5 most successful people you know, call them up, ask them to spend some time together. Make that call. The reason most people fail is they don't make that call. If you want true success, surround yourself with champions. Every day it'll make a difference by spending the time with the people that know where you want to go, and if they care, you'll know.
You weren't born knowing everything. If you want to get there fast, use a mastermind.
Successful people think big. They're always focusing on the what if, how are we going to make it happen? They're focusing on the dream. When you surround yourself with successful people, you'll start thinking big. And then, the sky's the limit.
One simple reason, and there are many, but one simple one: happy people attract people into their lives. Unhappy people do not.
Exponentially increase your thoughts and your energy. That's the power of a mastermind group.
When you want to grow, when you want to develop, when you want more, the key is to get around the people that are doing the things that you want to do. You want to be in shape, you got to be around the people that are working out, that are in shape. You want to make more money, go with people that are making more money. Go with people that are getting the outcome that you want. That too will help you get it. It'll raise your standards as well.
That could be the single best example of taking a complex concept and translating it into a simple, easy-to-use equation. I can't tell you how many times I've referenced that with my clients. Greg, could you illuminate that formula with one more application?
Yes, let me tell you a story about Lee. In fact, he's a young man I mentor, again, in my hometown of San Diego. A great young guy, 23 years old. You see, he was an electrical engineer, and he just wasn't very happy with his job. I started meeting with him once a month and said, what is it you really want to do with your life? Because I could see he had something called golden handcuffs. Golden handcuffs is where he made too much money, he couldn't afford to leave, so he was trapped to his desk. I says, well, what would you really like to do? He goes, I just don't know. So we did the success equation. And at the end of the day, on his passion side, it said art. He goes, gosh, art is my favorite thing. On his talent was engineering. Heck, that's what he went to school for, and he was pretty good at it. I said, Lee, how could you take action with the right people and do something with that? He says, well, I created something called a tranquil. And I go, what? And he goes, a tranquil. It's an indoor waterfall that as soon as you walk into a residence, you see it come trickling down the sides of the wall. It has beautiful sound and music to it. He goes, it's an inspiration for all that see. And I went, wow, well, let's go make them. He says, I can't. Golden handcuffs. About 2 months go by. We meet again. I remember the look on his face as he sat down. I said, what's wrong? And he goes, I got laid off. I looked at him. I said, excellent. This is great. Dude, don't you understand? This could be your ticket to freedom. What are you talking about? Well, this is the whole thing we're talking before, about the success equation. Combining your passion with your talent, taking action. I mean, this right here, that could be your ticket to freedom. And he said, okay, I'll give it a shot. 6 months. Don't you know it? 3 months goes by, and ABC gets a hold of him. You know that show Extreme Home Makeover where they tear down a house and they remodel it? Well, they feature his tranquils throughout the episodes. In fact, 4 of the best of episodes, as a matter of fact. And now, he puts them all around the restaurants and homes in our neighborhood. The guy's making an incredible income because he did just that. He applied his passion with his talent. He took action with the right association. And that is the success equation.
So here we are. We've spun the combinations, we've relaxed the locks and opened the vault doors in all of the areas: wealth, inspiration, and success. But there's one more. Just why do people strive for these areas? Well, it always seems to come down to one thing: happiness. Let's open it up, Scott.
Welcome to the Vault of Happiness. Now, the big question seems to be, is there really a roadmap or a blueprint to living a happy, fulfilled life? Well, fortunately, the answer is yes. And it all starts with gratitude. Unfortunately, we seem to get caught up in the one size. Oh, I'll be grateful and live a grateful life once I get a new job, once I find a new relationship, once I get a raise. But the truth is, once we're grateful not just for what we have in our lives, but who we have in our lives, the journey begins.
The best place to start is from a state of gratitude. By being grateful for things you have in your life, you're able to now enhance that and attract more things to be grateful for.
One of the keys to success is to have an attitude of gratitude, is to be constantly thinking about the things that you're grateful for. Because when you think about the things you're grateful for, first of all, you're a happy person.
The reality is that gratitude has power in it, because as you have a grateful heart, you draw more of the same to yourself.
Gratitude is the antithesis of envy. If we are expressing envy in any way, shape, or form, we are automatically putting repulsive vibrations out there into the universe. But the moment we are grateful for what we have and can bless others that have what we're looking for, we create an instant magnetism in the universe and attract those possibilities to us.
Most of the time when we think about being grateful, we think about just being grateful in our own mind. One of the things that will unlock success for you is to be grateful to other people. When somebody does something for you, when somebody gives benefit into your life, go to them and tell them how grateful you are for them. That creates an emotional bond that will connect you and help you achieve success.
That if every day you'll stop and think about 10 things you're thankful for, before you even get out of bed or when you're doing your morning routine, just think of 10 things you're thankful for. I'm thankful the weather's nice, the car started, whatever it may be that you're thankful for.
I like to say that the enlightened give thanks for what most people take for granted. So if you look around your life and just are grateful for really small things, that attitude will become large, and you'll discover in that field more things to be grateful for will begin to pour forth in your life. Start with anything, and then everything will come to you.
You'll see it come pouring in because the universe rewards those who have appreciation for what they already have.
When I had my 50th birthday party, my son, a teenager, got up and he was asked to say a few words. And kids, when they're teens, don't like praising their parents. So I didn't even know if he'd say anything. And you know what he got up and said? He said, I want to thank my father for one thing, for always being happy. And it was the best thing he could have said. I preferred that to had he said, I want to thank my father for loving me. I want to thank my father for supporting me, for being a good man, whatever. That was the best.
Mark of greatness is gratitude. My favorite prayer with our children was, God, we thank you for our food, but if we had no food, we thank you just the same. Because we're not thankful for just what you give us. We're thankful most of all for the privilege of learning to be thankful.
Have you ever felt like you had the weight of the world on your shoulders? That's anger and resentment. Try adopting a policy of, if it doesn't flow, let it go. You see, you've got to learn to forgive. That's the second step on a road to happiness. Forgiving others, but more importantly, forgiving yourself. Stand tall and be proud. That way you can forge ahead without any impediments.
Joy is the reward for letting go.
In order to be successful in life, there are two categories of people you need to learn how to forgive. One are all those people who have abused you or weren't there when you needed them. And the second one is yourself.
But it's time for all of us to meet the true thinker. The beautiful, powerful, talented, healthy, abundant, unlimited you. And not to get trapped into the thoughts that you think of who you are.
When you forgive yourself, you unlock the door to your true self where all your dimensions of creativity are. When you feel blocked, it's often because you've turned your disappointments inward. Choose to forgive yourself and unlock the door.
You've got to be willing to let the past go. Have you ever tried carrying 10 old boys on your back because you try to have success for them? What happens is you fail with them. You see, you can't get where you're going if you're always focused on where you've been.
When you forgive others, you just put the past behind you and work towards the future.
Here's one of the facts of life. People are going to wrong you. And here's one of the things I know. When other people make mistakes, we want justice. When we make mistakes, we want mercy. One of the things that'll change your life is when other people make mistakes, extend to them the mercy that you want. Forgive them. It'll open up a whole new world for you.
You have to look for the good in every situation. That's what I have found. I have found that athletes only get better with struggle. People only get better with struggle. A fighter only gets to become a better fighter when his opponent is just as good or even better than him. So look for the good in every situation. Forgive it from that aspect, that this was something that's healthy for me, something I'm going to learn from. I won't let it happen again, and it makes you a better person.
When it comes to forgiveness, don't walk through life carrying around a cancerous poison in your life. Forgive, and that's the first thing that you'll experience from other people.
Happiness begins with forgiveness. Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. Happiness will elude you if you have bitterness or resentment. You see, bitterness and resentment is like you drinking poison and expecting the other people to die.
I had a breakthrough recently. You know, it's been said that when you forgive, you forget. Then I heard something. No, forgiving is not forgetting. Forgiving is remembering without getting angry. Whoa, that was a major breakthrough for me.
Next step in a truly fulfilled life, service.
Be great is to give service, to give to others.
It's all about helping others.
Think of it. When do you most want to give things to others? When you're happy.
Perhaps serving others is the mark of a truly successful person.
If you're not spending your life on something that will outlast you, you are wasting your time. You should be spending your life serving other people, especially the next generation.
We all make a difference, but we don't make a difference by winning gold medals or blue ribbons or making a lot of money buying a bunch of cars. We make a difference by getting up every day and doing our best. We make a difference by being creative and flexible and seeing the good in people.
Talent and money are no good unless they're employed in the service of others. I've always believed that I can't hang on to my talent. I've got to use my talent to serve. When I give you what I have and it benefits your life, then I'm serving a purpose beyond myself.
Service is the means for anyone to achieve love and happiness. So you have to go out and you have to give in order to be able to really truly feel as if there's meaning in your life, to really feel that unification with all.
People will do more for someone else than they will for themselves. Look at our public servants, look at firefighters, policemen, mothers, people who are willing to lay down their lives for someone else.
Live a life of service and shamelessly give it away.
And the great thing about serving other people is that when you give to other people, you give to yourself. And I remember when I was younger, I thought tithing was only giving away money. And then as I got older, tithing is giving away a smile. Tithing is giving away energy. Tithing is helping another person.
When something good happens in your life, that's the time you feel most desirous of being unselfish.
What we want to do is learn how to become a philanthropist on every sense of the word. So what I'm talking about is being able to give a shoulder for someone to cry on, or giving a compliment to somebody who's doing a great job.
It can be time, money, giving a helping hand, or simply being a great listener.
In serving another, one can grow to be so sensitive that they meet another's need even before that individual asks for it. That's real giving.
A lot of people think when I'm more successful, then I'll give more. When I have more time, more money, more talent, more influence, I'll give it away. Really, we need to be most responsible when we need more in our life, and find somebody and make a difference for them. And you'll find all the things coming into your life that you ever wanted.
I've known a lot of guys that have waited until they're 65 years old before they've given away their first penny. And I think about all the opportunities that they would have had throughout their career to give away time, money, their expertise into the community to things that really mattered. It would have been a wonderful opportunity for them to pass it on.
Hey, let's face it, stress happens. Some of the happiest people on the planet, they have a stress coping strategy. Some count to 10, some say needles and pens, some meditate. I mean, it's different for everybody. But the important thing is have a strategy.
You're going to get stressed. I get stressed. I get out of balance. What I've learned over the years is it's so important to have some internal happiness.
You know, they say today that stress is one of the top killers in America, and it really is, because what happens is you get so bottlenecked. You know what I'm talking about when you wake up every day and you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to see the people you know and you really care about. If you find a way to create balance in your life by getting rid of some of that stress, whether it's taking time off, relaxing, or going to the gym and working out, or just going for a walk in nature, you will find that you become so much more successful because you're balanced.
When I feel stressed, I come outside of the circumstances. I become the witness. I look at this from a different angle and realize, hey, this is a part of the movie. And we all have those challenging moments. And I take the time to go within, to pray, to meditate, to fast, to cut off the phones, to disengage from life, and do what I have to do to get myself to the next level so that I can get back into the game of life, starting fresh and ready to go.
Whenever I'm feeling stressed, one of the things that I do is I stop and I ask myself, do you need to change your perception about this, or do you need to change your procedure? And that question really illuminates, it allows me to be more resourceful in how I approach that circumstance that was seemingly stressful.
Recently, a woman came into my office and she said, I am just so depressed. I said, I beg your pardon? She said, I'm just so depressed. I said, well, ma'am, how do you act when you're depressed? She said, how do what? I said, how do you act? How do you walk when you're depressed? She said, well, I kind of take slow, sliding, waddling steps, kind of like this. I said, well, how do you hold your head and shoulders when you're depressed? She said, well, let my shoulders kind of slump forward, my chin hang down on my chest like this. I said, well, how do you talk when you're depressed? She said, well, I kind of talk through my nose in a whining, nasal sound, kind of like this. I said, well, let's try something. I said, get up and try walking across the office. Take a little longer, spring your step, hold your shoulders back, hold your head up, put a smile on your face, act like you feel good. She got up, she started to cross the office. She'd take a little longer, spring her step. She had her shoulders back, her head up, about a half smile on her face. She looked at me over her shoulder and she said, you know what? I do feel a little bit better. Now, anytime in the future you get to feeling down and out and the world's against you, what do? You just sit down in a chair like this and you just jump up and you say, I'm depressed.
I always remind my clients that there's always an effortless solution to any apparent problem or challenge.
I think we have to understand that we are responsible for the stress in our lives. It's nothing external from us. Stress is caused because of the interpretation or the meaning that we give things that are happening around us.
Because I know that the moment that I'm stressed is usually when I've left my body, anxiety comes up, and I'm spinning somewhere off in la-la land. So if I can take a moment to breathe, get my feet on the ground, feel whatever it is I'm sitting on, or my back against the wall, wherever I happen to be, if I can get back in my body, that will help bring things down when I can be calm and more focused and get back to my joy.
Scott, may I ask you to illustrate one of those strategies?
Well, as a matter of fact, Dave, I've got an illustration in my action guide. It's called Ants into Apes. Ants. We all have them. It stands for automatic negative thoughts. It's been said that we have over 64,000 thoughts a day. Unfortunately, most of them are negative. Now let me ask you, what's bigger than an ant? Well, an ape, of course. And that stands for automatic positive experience. This can be a memory of anything that's special to you, like your kid's graduation, or a wedding, or even a much-needed vacation you took a while back. Now remember this, although an ape is much bigger than an ant, 64,000 of those little rascals can take down the biggest of beasts. For me, it's a song by Billy Joel, In the Middle of the Night, that I keep in my front pocket. so to speak. It works like this. Say I'm driving down the road and someone cuts me off. Well, like most people, my ants creep up and I have that knee-jerk reaction. Wow, you son of a gun! But then, my ape steps in, which is much more powerful and flicks that ant away while I slip into my favorite tune, In the Middle of the Night. Now, it takes some practice at first, but before you know it, your ape will be standing right outside that anthill and flick those little buggers away as soon as they pop their heads out. That is the power of turning your ants into apes. Now here's one of my favorite steps to a happy life. Personal time. For me, I take long drives. Not in traffic though. No, I take long drives on long stretches of open highway. So that way I can clear my mind and think good thoughts.
I am a fanatic about personal time. I make sure that I have time at the beach, and when I get to the forest, my most important thing is to watch the trees be green.
Simple joy of life is to be out in nature, to be at the ocean, to breathe fresh, clean air.
It's always best to enjoy yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously, and enjoy life and those people around you, and just laugh, have a good time.
One suggestion, find your sanctuary. For me, it's my bubble bath, and I love the fact that there's a lock on the door and a fragrant bath bomb and a candle, big bottle of Perrier, maybe a glass of wine. For you, it might be your garden, it might be a big chair, whatever it is, find it.
For the first 30 minutes that I'm awake each day, I lie in bed and plan my day. Just find myself, spend some time with me, and through affirmation, prayer, and meditation, and get things right with me.
Every single day within the first hour that you wake up, invest time in the things that make you happy, then healthy, and then wealthy, and tell me how you do then.
The single best way to have personal time is to rest. My patients tell me that they can't sleep because they can't turn off their minds. It's possible to slow down and sleep, but you must give yourself the time to do it.
People are always saying, I don't have enough time to exercise. I say we all have enough time to exercise. We just have to have the commitment. I speak to tens of thousands of people and hundreds of airplane rides a year. And I find the time to exercise because I'm committed to a healthy lifestyle.
You can't pull anything out of an empty bag. You've got to pour into yourself to make sure that you're not mentally, emotionally, and spiritually malnourished. So take care of yourself. You are your greatest commodity.
The last step in the last vault is simple and easy. Smile.
One of the most simple gifts I can give that gives me great pleasure in giving, and I know people enjoy receiving, is a smile.
It's so important to smile in order for you to be able to feel positive, happy emotions, even if you're not feeling them in the moment. It may seem a little cheesy or inauthentic, but it's not. Because when you smile, it'll shift your body language and it'll start making you feel a lot better.
Pass it on. Pass it on.
Pass it on.
Your smile is your most effective method of communication. It transcends all language barriers.
A smile is the key to open the door you thought you could never get through.
One of the greatest techniques I learned on the road to success is Smile Talk. I learned that it was a way for me to manage my environment and manage my attitude. The smile is the secret weapon of success.
Pass it on. Pass it on.
Pass it on.
Pass it on.
Yeah, I like to smile, but it isn't quite that easy at my age anymore.
Things aren't going right, and they're not going the way you want to. Just smile. Think of all the money you're going to make.
And the beauty of a smile is that if you keep giving out smiles to the universe, the day you feel bummed out and a little bit gloomy and down and a little bit in dread, somebody that you've sent out a smile to is going to see you, feel your core essence, smile at you. It's going to force you to smile, and you're going to instantaneously feel better. Let's get everybody to smile everywhere, always.
Pass it on.
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 A smile is what creates atmosphere. Atmosphere does not come out of thin air. Somebody has to create atmosphere. And tell me a quicker, easier way to create some atmosphere than a big smile.
What a journey. Let me cut to the chase, because this isn't the end of the journey, not by a long shot. This is where it truly begins. And one sure way to maximize your effectiveness is to do the following. First, take a good, solid, realistic look at where you're at today. Look in the areas of wealth, inspiration, success, and happiness. And get real honest with yourself. What's your starting point on these areas of a scale of 1 to 10? Say